treat yourself to the best that life has to offer. First of all, I want to thank Kat for the gloves. They're so sweet. You know, she also gave me something else that was really cool, so sweet. My costumes. You don't have to do the deal. Anyway, and it's fun. Treat yourself to the best that life has to offer. And remember, if you're doing this work here with me, you are life. See, all this teaching out there is always trying to get you to think it's out here somewhere. And that you got to get it out there because you don't have it. And you're not good enough. And, you know, because we've had all these commands given to us as hypnotic suggestions. And saying, well, this is true. And then, you know, in educational systems, then they tell you what you have to know. Then they test you on it. And if you don't give the answers that they tell you are the correct answers, then you fail. Wow. You see. So, and then if you're good, you get praise and glory. You go to the head of the class, teacher's favorite. Anyway, so we did all this stuff is to basically treat ourselves to the worst that life has to offer. We are life, and we need to give up self-abuse, self-hatred, self-torturing. Because when we're tortured, we will torture others. And you know, when you notice, like, as if, you know, whatever is being said out there going on in the world of this reality that's maybe very, very virtual, and seeing what's happening is all of that kind of conflict shows the conflict that is in the mind of the people. And just like, you know, we know that the sun really is a reflector, and it's reflecting our light that we emanate. And because people are closing down on their level of divinity, have been, and love, then the heat of the sun actually does change, because we're getting back the coldness or the death kind of a reflection. And so when you treat yourself to the best that life has to offer, the treatment comes in how you are, how you behave. It's all, it isn't from, because the source of the problem is in our consciousness of what we have been taught, or we learned, or we think is true, or we believe, and that we will fight for the death. And you do not die. So that's what's so important to know, because everyone, oh, it's going to be over, I'll be dead. No, it is never over, because this is not it. You are it. This is, and you're not an it. It's who we are. So when you treat yourself to the best that life has to offer, is because you are life. You stop torturing yourself. And remember, I've said the mind is the greatest terrorist weapon that's ever been invented. And it is an invention, and that because it's a word, again. And it's a word that, like the first axiom, Hermetic axiom, is all is consciousness, all is mind, all is mind. And that's just it. And as you can observe that, you can perceive that, because who you are is perceiving right now through this three-dimensional, or this form, or this reality. But that's not who you are. You are a divine being. And so to treat yourself to the best, you want to speak only the highest words about yourself and others. You do not want to harbor hatred. Hatred is not the opposite of love. Love has no opposite. It has not love. The opposite of love is not fear. No, that's giving fear, raising it up, just like you're raising evil up to the level of absolute goodness of who we really are. And saying, oh, that's your dark side, that's the part of you that's this and that and this. Those are just beliefs, thoughts, statements, commands that have nothing to do with you, as if everything's complicated and everything gets more complicated all the time because, it's this and this and this. Gaining knowledge always of more and more complicated and all of this out here, and less of yourself. Because what does that tell you? That which is doing that is treating you to the worst that life has to offer. And it's treating like a medicine. It's a treatment. It's how you treat others. So if you want the best, you have to know what the best is. You want to feel good. You want to express what's in your heart to express. You look around, you go, some of this, what's going on? And then it's, well, this is the way it is around here. Well, in that reality, but you don't have to be in any reality. When you speak the truth, when you read the truth, when you study the truth, and you'll say, well, there's no one truth. There is absolute truth that works for everybody all the time. It's the statement, it's the knowledge of what always is. And there are people trying to say, well, it isn't. They say, well, you're all by yourself out there. There's no divine. Really? That's got to be the dumbest of the dumb diddy dum dum dum. Yeah. Treat yourself to the best that life has to offer, and you are life. Stop torturing yourself in your thoughts, your imagination, your words, your deeds. Stop torturing others in your mind and your words, your thoughts, your deeds, including animals. All animals, because we're our partners. They're our partners. And that's why it's so important to treat yourself even to the best. It's like I became a vegetarian many, many years ago in the 80s after my body had a stroke. I said, I don't want that. I started feeling better. I don't want to act, I'm not old. What? I'm wise and childlike. Treat yourself to the best because you're part of the best. But you've got to be there in consciousness and through every activity and action of who you really are now.